Hello, beautiful learners. Hope you're doing great. I'm also good by the grace of Almighty. So it's a day 53 of IELTS listening practice test with answers and proper explanation for band 9. So before going to start our class, I just need to check whether you can hear me as well as the audio track. So just give me a few sec to check it, okay? Then I will start it.
You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions based on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only.
So I'm sure that you can hear me as well as the audio track. So let's listen the instruction from the man as he is delivering that. Okay, so let's listen it from the beginning. Okay,
You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions based on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1.
so I hope you got the instruction. Now we have another instruction to read it. Okay, let's read it. No more than 2 words for each answer. Okay, so here we have 4 columns: name, location, cost, notes. Okay, and now let's listen it for question number 1. Okay, so here we have keyword for this question: part. Okay, 50 pounds per night, including blah blah. Okay, let's listen it.
You will hear a woman talking to a man who works in a tourist information office. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. Relating to this will be played first.
Good afternoon, can I help you?
I hope so.
Will be played first.
Good afternoon, can I help you?
I hope so. My Portuguese friends are coming over to visit me next month, and I need to find a place for them to stay that is quite central, as I live in the city centre myself and want them to be close by. Can you recommend anywhere?
Yes, a few places instantly spring to mind. What about Belvedere Gardens Hotel? Despite what the name might suggest, it's right in the city centre, on Main Street, opposite Grimes Tower.
The Belvedere Gardens Hotel is located opposite Grimes Tower, so you write opposite in the space provided.
Okay, we just listened it for the sample one. Okay, sample one is here, you can see. Now let's listen it for the question number 1. Okay,
You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good afternoon, can I help you?
I hope so. My Portuguese friends are coming over to visit me next month, and I need to find a place for them to stay that is quite central, as I live in the city centre myself and want them to be close by. Can you recommend anywhere?
Yes, a few places instantly spring to mind. What about Belvedere Gardens Hotel? Despite what the name might suggest, it's right in the city centre, on Main Street, opposite Grimes Tower.
How much is it per night, please?
Quite reasonable, given the location. $50, and that is inclusive of a continental breakfast.
Oh, that sounds nice. What about other meals? Do you have to...
okay, so the lady was asking how much cost how much it is per night, please. And the man was explaining that uh, 50 pounds, and that include of a continental breakfast. So a continental breakfast. Okay, so a continental with the answer. Let me put it. Okay, a continental would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 2. Highly recommend what? Let's listen it.
To pay extra for them?
Yes. Unfortunately, lunch and dinner are not included in the price. The hotel does have a very fine restaurant, though, and I would thoroughly recommend the buffet dinner there. Customers should be seated by 7:30 in the evening when the buffet starts.
I'll keep.
Okay, so he was saying the hotel does have a very fine restaurant, and though I would truly recommend the buffet dinner. So buffet dinner would be the answer. Let me put it. Dinner, okay, with the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 3. On the south side of Edinburgh, okay, Edgeware. Let's highlight it. Let's listen it. On the south side of Edgeware, okay, let's listen
Keep
it.
it in mind. Is there anywhere else you can think of?
Certainly. The Belfield Grand is always a popular choice. It's located a little further out, though, on the south side of Edgware Common. Perhaps that's too far.
So on the south side of Edgeware Common. So common will be the answer. Let me put it. Common, okay. Now we are going to listen it for question number 4. 55 pounds. Sorry, it's dollar. 55 $55 per night. $10 discount if blah blah. Let's listen it.
Far from the city centre.
Not really. It's only a few stops on the subway. Depends on the price.
Believe it or not, the Belfield is more expensive than Belvedere Gardens, $55.
Oh, that's no good.
Mind you, there is a $10 discount offered to customers who've booked online.
Okay, so here's the saying. There's a 10%. There's a $10 discount offered to customers who have booked online. So booked online with the answer. Let me put it. Booked online. Okay. Now we're going to listen it for question number 5. Price include of.
There's also the fact that the price is inclusive of all meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner, served in the guest's lounge.
So he was saying there's also the fact that the price inclusive of all meals. So all meals should be done. So let me put it as meals. Okay. Now let's listen it for question number 6. Served in blah blah. Okay, let's listen it for question number 6.
The price is inclusive of all meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner, served in the guest's lounge.
Okay, served, as he was saying, served in the guest lounge. So guest lounge would be the answer. Let me put it. Guest lounge. LOUNGE. Guest lounge. Okay. Now let's listen it for question 7. Blah blah hotel. Okay. Let's listen it for question number 7. Okay.
Before listening to the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. To 10.
I like the sound of this hotel more and more. The Belfield, then, so far. Is there anywhere else?
Well, you should also consider the Maple View.
I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
Okay, so the lady was asking, I think the sound of this hotel more and more. The Belfield then. So far, is there anywhere else? And the man was replying, well, you should also consider the Melf view. Okay, so Melf view would be the answer. Let me put it. Okay, so Melf view. W. Okay, the answer Melful. Okay, would be the answer. Melful view would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 8. At the entrance to the blah blah zone. Let's listen for question number 8.
You should be. It's right in the heart of the city, next to the entrance to the pedestrian zone that runs along High Street.
Sounds lovely.
Okay, so he's saying you should be. It's right in the heart of the city, next to the entrance, the pedestrian. Okay, so pedestrian zone. So June is here. We can see. So pedestrian is missing. So pedestrian will be the answer. Let me put it. Pedestrian. Okay, the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 9. $28 weekdays and $40 on weekends and blah blah. Let's listen it for question number 9.
Being so close to the shops. Tell me more.
It gets better. The price per night is only $28 on weekdays, though an additional $12 is charged on weekends and bank holidays.
Sounds like great value for money.
It is. That's why you have...
So he was saying the price per night is only $28 on weekdays, though an additional $12 is charged on weekends and bank holidays. So bank holidays will be the answer. Let me put it. Bank sorry, BFOS holidays will be the answer. Okay, now we're going to listen it for question number 10. Must book well. Let's listen it for question number 10.
Have to book well in advance of your stay.
How soon should I book then?
That's why you have to book well in advance of your stay.
How value for money?
Additional $12 is charged on weekends and bank holidays.
Sounds like great value for money.
It is. That's why you have to book well in advance of your stay.
How soon?
Okay, so he was saying it is. That's why you have to book well in advance for advance of your stay. So must book well in advance. So in advance would be the answer. Let me put it. Advance would be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 11 to 16. Here we have a table map. 11. Okay, write the correct letter A to H next to question number 11 to 16. Okay, here it says, sorry, here it says new look. Okay, now look at the plan of the King's Cross station below. Okay, so here we can see a lot of options are available here. So here we have place A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and H. Okay, we have A to H place. Okay, and we have here, okay, where we have Van Crossroad, and we have here Austin Road, and a lot of places are like King's Cross Square, And here paved area, station building. Here we have a breeze, building between platform and paved area, taxi waiting area, Great North Hotel, station front, disabled meeting point, exit. Okay, a lot of places. Okay, now we have to listen it for left luggage office. Okay, now we are going to listen for question number 11 for left luggage office. Okay, so let's listen it for question number 11 and let's play the audio. Okay, let me play the audio. And okay,
Now
here you
listen
go.
carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? So, here we are at King's Cross Station. We'll be leaving from here in just over an hour to catch a tube from the underground station, so you'll have a bit of time to look around. But first things first, just so as you can get your bearings and find your way around this rather complex and confusing station, I will point out essential areas as well as points of interest. At the moment, we are standing in King's Cross Square, facing two main exit doors, one off to our left and the other off to our right. The exits lead from the main platform area, which can be accessed by several entrances, one of which is located just a bit further away to your left, although it is obscured by a wall from where we're standing. Oh, by the way, that building standing on its own, the larger, not the smaller one, on your far left is the Great Northern Hotel. The taxi rank is sandwiched between it and the left luggage office. So,
Okay, so here's saying that building standing on the its own, the larger, not not the smaller one. Your far left is the Great Northern Hotel. So you further is Great Northern Hotel here. Okay, and should saying the taxi rank is sandwich between. Taxi rank is okay. So here is a taxi. Taxi, as you are saying, taxi rank is the sandwich between it and the left luggage office. So G would be the left luggage office. Okay, as you heard that. Now let me choose option G. Okay, so I think I should play the audio again, as it would be more helpful to you. Okay, so let's listen it for one more time for option. Okay, question number 11. Okay, let's listen it from the beginning. So the answer is G. Okay, but you have to follow the instruction as she was talking. Okay, just follow the instruction and listen it carefully so that you can find it more clear. Okay, let's listen it one more time.
away can be accessed. Main at the moment, we point out essential areas as well as points of index and confused so as you can get your bed. But first things first, just so as you can get your bearings and find your way around this rather complex and confusing station, I will point out essential areas as well as points of interest. At the moment, we are standing in King's Cross Square, facing two main exit doors, one off to our left and the other off to our right. The exits lead from the main platform area, which can be accessed by several entrances, one of which is located just a bit further away to your left, although it is obscured by a wall from where we're standing. Oh, by the way, that building standing on its own, the larger, not the smaller one, on your far left is the Great Northern Hotel. The taxi rank is sandwiched between it and the left luggage office. So, before I go on to a description of the main shopping and platform areas at the other side of the station wall, I'd like to point out the most important point of all, the underground station, which is where we need to meet promptly for departure. Luckily, it's quite prominent as it's located away from the shopping and platform area of the station. It's just over there on the corner, in between the entrance I mentioned earlier and the exit nearest to the hotel from where we're standing now. Now, for those of you who would like to grab a bite to eat or do a bit of shopping, you can...
So I hope you got it. Okay. Now we are going to listen it for question number 12. Okay. The underground station. Okay, let's listen for underground station. Okay.
areas at the other side of the station wall, I'd like to point out the most important point of all, the underground station, which is where we need to meet promptly for departure. Luckily, it's quite prominent as it's located away from the shopping and platform area of the station. It's just over there on the corner, in between the entrance I mentioned earlier and the exit nearest to the hotel from where we're standing now.
So option H is the answer. Let me choose it and let me explain it to you. As she was saying, it's located away from the shopping and platform area of the station. It's just over there on the corner between the entrance I mentioned earlier and the exit nearest to the hotel from where we are standing. So that means he was talking of this one. Okay, so H is the answer. I hope you got it. Okay, if you have confusion, you can pause this video now and just listen it one more time. Okay, I hope you got it. Now let's listen it for question number 13. Okay, here we can see it's Burger Land. Okay, Burger Land. Okay, let's listen it for question number 13.
Now, for those of you who would like to grab a bite to eat or do a bit of shopping, you can enter the shopping area by that entrance door over there. It's by far the nearest entrance. You will find several clothes shops in this area, in addition to a fast food outlet. When you go in the entrance, if you go straight ahead rather than turning left into the other part of the shopping complex, you will find two buildings facing one another. Within these buildings are several shops and eating places. In the building immediately after the ticket barriers on your right, you will find that the first shop you come across is the fast food outlet, Burgerland.
So she was talking about option E. Okay, places. So E would be the place for Burgerland. Okay, let me choose it as she was talking. So I'm going to play it one more time, as map are really complicated for few guys. Okay, so just be careful and be attentive to listen it. Okay,
now, for those of you who would like to grab a bite to eat or do a bit of shopping, you can enter the shopping area by that entrance door over there. It's by far the nearest entrance. You will find several clothes shops in this area, in addition to a fast food outlet. When you go in the entrance, if you go straight ahead rather than turning left into the other part of the shopping complex, you will find two buildings facing one another. Within these buildings are several shops and eating places. In the building immediately after the ticket barriers on your right, you will find that the first shop you come across is the fast food outlet, Burgerland.
So I hope you got it, as she was talking about option E. Okay, so I played the audio twice. So if you still have a confusion, I would suggest you to pause this video right now and listen it one more time. Okay, so E would be the answer. Okay, I don't think I have to I need more explanation to give you. Okay, I hope it's super clear to you. Just oops, sorry, it's not the answer. I already choose this one. Okay, so now we are going to listen it for question number 14. ticket office. Okay, let's listen it for. I didn't choose it intentionally, it was by mistake, so I need to listen the audio, and I need to select it after when I will listen the audio. Okay, now let's listen it.
If you need to avail yourself of the toilet facilities, then carry straight on past Burgerland, and they're at the far end of the building. In between the toilets and the ticket office is the disabled meeting point. You will have to enter through this area in order to gain access to the toilets. If you would like to go up to the second floor...
Okay, I hope you got the answer. Answer will be option A. Okay, let me choose option A here. And let me explain to you. As you saying, in between the toilet and the ticket office is the disabled meeting point. Okay, so meeting point. Okay, so here he was talking about meeting point, so that means, as he was saying, in between the toilet and ticket office. Okay, so okay, so we are going to listen it for just ticket office, and she was saying in between toilet and ticket office there is disabled meeting point. So disabled meeting point is here in the middle, so you can say this one is toilet, and this one would be ticket what should I say, ticket office. Okay, so F would be ticket office. Okay, so I'll choose this one. Okay, some people say why this one is ticket office, why this one is not, because it's already mentioned here, so it should be toilet. Okay, because here is no alphabet here is no alphabet between A to H, as we are going to listen it for A to H. So don't be confused. Some people will say also like why this one is not ticket office. Okay, so you have to be reasonable. Okay, you have to be critical when you are listening it. Okay, so just we are going to listen it for this one. This is a what should I say, potential place for listening. That's why the answer would be this one. Okay, now we're going to listen it for question number 15. Okay, pizzeria. Okay, pizzeria, let me highlight it, and let's listen it for pizzeria. Okay,
where there are one or two shops and a pizzeria, then as you enter the shopping area through the main entrance, instead of going straight ahead, you turn off to the left. The escalators are immediately on your left again. When you go up the escalators, you will see two buildings again on your left. Go past the first building, and the pizzeria is the first shop that you come to in the second building.
So she was talking about this building, and she was saying second. She was talking about second building. So second building is C, and that is a pizzeria. Okay, let me choose option C. So just I will play the audio one more time, as it will be helpful to you. Okay, let's listen it one more time.
It's a building on your left again. You turn off to the left. The escalators are immediately on your left again. When you go up the escalators, you will see two buildings again on your left. Go past the first building, and the pizzeria...
So she was saying go past the building, the first building. She was saying go up. She was saying go past go first the first building. Okay, so she was saying to pass this building first. Okay, so you just need to avoid this building. Okay, as she was saying, go first the first building. Okay, be careful. Go first the first building, and the pizzeria is the first shop. Okay, pizzeria is first shop that you come to in the second building. So this is the first shop, but you as you start your working, So maybe you will say this one is the first building, but this one is not first building, because this one is the first building as should saying. Okay, but here if you just study work, maybe you will say that this is the first building. Okay, but the first building is this one as she was saying. Go first, the first building, then you will find this one. Okay, that means you will find this one. So as she was saying, this is the pizzeria. So C would be the answer. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to listen it for question number 16. Okay, platform 9 G by 4. Okay, let me highlight it. Let's listen it for question number 16. Okay,
Here is the first shop that you come to in the second building. Now, I would just like to ask, are there any Harry Potter fans with us today? Ah, good. Yes, I see several hands raised. Well, there's a treat in store for you if you go to the far end of the second building and take the escalator down again to the ground floor. As you reach the bottom of the escalator, turn right and carry on walking, keeping the ticket barrier on your left all the time. Don't turn off left, but carry on walking until you find yourself up against the station wall. This is the famous platform 9 3/4, immortalised by J.K. Rowling in...
so I think option B would be the answer. Okay, now I'm going to play the audio again. Just keep watching and be attentive. Okay, to that.
in her Harry Potter books. Walk against the... Don't turn off left. As you reach the second building and take the escalator down again to the ground floor, as you reach the bottom of the escalator, turn right and carry on walking, keeping the ticket barrier on your left all the time. Don't turn off left, but carry on walking until you find yourself up against the station wall. This is the famous platform 9 3/4, immortalised by J.K. Rowling in her...
So I hope it's super clear to you now. Okay, so let's move on to question number 17 to 20. Here we have a multiple choice question. Okay, choose the correct letter A, B or C. The tour is going to blah blah. Okay, the tour is going to blah blah visit. Okay, let me zoom in it. Okay, visit all major London landmarks. Okay, only visit selected landmarks in London. B, leisurely tour of most London landmarks. Okay, let's listen it for question number 17.
Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
Good. Welcome back. I'm glad you were all punctual. As you know, we have a packed itinerary which will give you a taster of London's major landmarks.
Okay, so she's saying, as you know, we have a packed itinerary which will give you a taster of London's major landmarks. Okay, so as she was saying, as you know, we have a picked itinerary which will give you a taster of London's major landmarks. Okay, major. Okay, so this is not the answer. Only visit selected landmarks in London. Okay. Okay, so B will be the answer, as she was saying. Pick itinerary which will give you a taster of London's major landmarks. Okay, now we are going to listen for question number 18. Two members may be unfamiliar with the underground. Okay, are all equally familiar with the underground? Are all unfamiliar with the underground. Okay, let's listen it for question number 18.
Before we enter the underground, I would just like to give you some important information. Firstly, for those of you unfamiliar with the London Underground, you must retain your ticket throughout the journey.
Okay, so she's saying first, for those of you unfamiliar with the London Underground, you must retain your ticket throughout the journey. Okay, so maybe unfamiliar with the underground, all equally familiar with the underground, or unfamiliar with the underground, are all. Okay, so maybe would be the answer. I think I would be the answer as saying. Firstly, for those of you unfamiliar with the London Underground, you must retain your ticket um, throughout the journey. So she don't know how many people or are how many people are familiar or unfamiliar. So it would be like uh, at the middle point of specific or not specific. Okay, so that means A would be the answer. Maybe unfamiliar with the underground. Okay, some people. So that's why A would be the answer. Now let's listen to question number 19. The tour group is intending to take a morning train. Avoid the trains crowded with shoppers. Avoid the rush hour. Okay, let's listen to question number 19.
surrendering the ticket at your final destination. This is not applicable to today's trip, but really for tomorrow when you will be at leisure and may wish to use the underground again. For today, we have a group ticket, which means that we have to stay together at all times whilst travelling on the underground. Should you become separated from the group and end up travelling without a ticket, you can expect to pay a hefty fine. Also, remember that while we are travelling outside the rush hour between 5 and 7 p.m. in the evening and from 7:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning, we will still meet with the midday crowds of shoppers. Sometimes.
Okay, so she's saying, remember that while we are traveling outside the rush hour between 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, 5 to 7 p.m. and from 7:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning, we still meet a crowd of shoppers. Okay, so that means C would be the answer. Let me choose C about the rush hour. Okay, remember that while we're traveling outside the rush hour. Okay, while we are traveling outside the rush hour. Okay, so that means they are avoiding the rush hour. Okay, and saying, remember that while we are traveling outside the rush hour, so that means they are avoiding it. So outside the rush hour and avoid. So I hope you have a good idea about that. Okay, now let's listen it one more time if you have confusion still. Okay,
we will still in the evening and travelling outside fine and end up travelling on the underground. Should you become separated from the group and end up travelling without a ticket, you can expect to pay a hefty fine. Also, remember that while we are travelling outside the rush hour between 5 and 7 p.m. in the evening.
Okay, that means as you're saying, remember that while we are traveling outside the rush hour, that means they are avoiding. That means they are not traveling in the rush hour. Okay, I hope you got it now. It's super clear to you. Now let's listen to question number 20. Sitting on underground trains has been previously reserved can be guaranteed for those with a disability is never granted. Okay, let's listen it for question number 20.
Evening, and from 7:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning, we will still meet with the midday crowds of shoppers. Sometimes there is only standing room at such times, so you will be lucky to get a seat at all. Priority seats do exist if you are unable to stand, although this is rarely enforced and is at the discretion of the passenger occupying such seats. Beware of pickpockets too. There are many opportunist thieves who...
Okay, so that means C would be the answer. Okay, let me choose as saying priority seats do exist if you are unable to stand, although this rarely enforced and is at the direction of the passengers. Okay, such as seats. Okay, is never granted. Okay, sitting on underground chains is never granted. Okay, would be the answer. So we are out of time. I need to replay or restart it again from the beginning. Now we are done with part 2. Okay, now let's listen for question number 21 as it is in part 3. Okay, so let's read the question first. Okay, the construction of the new faculty building will construction of new faculty building will finish during the summer, conclude during the first term, be approved during the summer. Let's listen to question number 21.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hey, Melissa, how's it going?
Great! I'm really pleased to have the exams behind me. Now I'm looking forward to a break for the summer, as I know next year is going to be unbelievably difficult, being our final year and all. You?
Same. Pleased to be finished, but dreading next year, though.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say I'm dreading it, but I know what you're saying.
At least we're going to have smaller classes next semester.
How do you mean?
Didn't you hear? The Commerce faculty just got approval to build a new state-of-the-art lecture building over the summer months. It's expected to be finished by the start of term.
Okay, so A would be the answer. Let me choose it. Finish during the summer. Let me explain it to you. As he was saying, the Commerce faculty just got approval to build a new state-of-the-art lecture building over the summer month. It expected to be finished in the start of the term. Okay, so he was saying the commerce faculty just got approval to build a new state-of-the-art lecture building over the summer month. Okay, over the summer month. So that means A would be the answer. Now we are going to over the summer month, and here saying, and it's expected to be finished by the term. So finish at the in summer. Okay, now I hope it's super clear to you. Now let's listen it for question number 22 and 23. Okay, yeah, we have, okay, choose two letters A to E. We have to choose two letters from here. Okay, now let's listen the, okay, let's read the question first. Okay, the two main sources of funding for the project were, two main sources for the project were government money, college grant, okay, alumni donations, the commerce faculty, and unnamed patron. Okay, let's listen it for question number 22 to 23.
Exactly sound dreading it, but I know what you're saying.
You hear? The Commerce faculty just got approval to build a new state-of-the-art...
Fantastic! No more lecture theatres crammed with over 200 people. That'll make a pleasant change. How on earth are they paying for it, though? I thought the college was reining in its expenditure and decreasing spending.
It is, but the grant has been approved for the best part of 3 years, so they have no choice but to provide it now that the project is going ahead. After all, those funds are supposed to have been set aside especially.
So he was saying the grant has been approved for the best part of 3 years. So they have no choice but to provide it now that the project is going ahead. After all, those funds are supposed to have been set aside specially. Okay, so which one would be the answer? Let me choose. Okay, so B would be the answer. Okay, as the lady was asking, the lady was saying, I thought the college was reining in the expenditure and decreasing spending. Okay, and the man was replying that it is, but the grant has been approval for the best part of the 3 years. Okay, if you have confusion, let's listen to one more time. Okay.
Years.
Spending. I thought the college was reining in its expenditure and decreasing spending.
Okay, I hope you got it now. As she was saying, I thought the college was reining in its expenditures and decreasing spending. Okay, decreasing spending. Okay, so that means it's college is spending the money. Okay, spending the pound. Okay, so B would be the answer. So let's listen for the remaining one.
It is, but the grant has been approved for the best part of 3 years, so they have no choice but to provide it now that the project is going ahead. After all, those funds are supposed to have been set aside especially.
So what's taken so long for construction to start?
You see, the grant only covers 30% of the cost. The incoming government made a pledge during the election campaign that it would cover the other 70%, but typical of a political party, wouldn't you know, it didn't keep its promise. The College Donors Club, a group of wealthy alumni, stepped in to pledge 10% of the money needed, but the project really only got a kickstart when an anonymous donor pledged the rest.
Okay, I hope you got it. As he was saying, the project really only got a kickstart, okay, when an anonymous donor, anonymous means unknown person, okay, anonymous donor placed the rest. Okay, so that means you be the answer. I hope it's super clear to you now. Okay, now let's listen for question number 24 and 25. Okay, choose two letter A to E. Okay, two factor. Okay, sorry, what two new items are added to the plans? So we are going to listen it for two new items. Okay, let's listen it.
Mysterious.
Yeah, and apparently he demanded that certain changes be made to the plans before handing over the money.
Like what?
Well, you know the proposal to have a gym in the basement?
Don't tell me that's been cancelled.
Not at all. In fact, our anonymous donor friend insisted on it being twice the original size.
Okay, so Steve was saying, well, you know, the proposal to have a gym in the basement, and the lady was saying, don't tell me that been cancelled. Okay, so that means okay, so as he was saying, well, you know, the proposal to have a gym in the basement, and the lady was replying, don't tell me that's between cancel. That's been cancelled. So B, sorry. So okay, a larger. So GA would be the answer. Okay, larger. Okay, as he was talking about gym. Okay. Now let's listen it for question number. Okay, the remaining one. Okay.
Our anonymous donor friend insisted on it being twice the, with games and stuff.
Sweet. Are we still getting our new computer lab? There's always such an awful queue for the existing one.
We are indeed, and next to it there's now going to be what they're calling the software zone. A place where students can access all the latest high-end software free of charge.
Nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Donor. Everything else is staying.
Students going to be what they're...
For the existing one.
We are...
We're getting our new computer.
With size, our anonymous donor...
Tell me that's been cancelled.
Not at all. In fact, our anonymous donor friend insisted on it being twice the original size and on a relaxation room being added as well.
Okay, so B would be the answer, as he was saying. It being twice in the original size and on relaxation room being added as well. Okay, so relaxation room would be the answer, as it's visible here. We can see. Now we are going to listen for question number 26 and 26 to 30. Okay. Okay, what does Melissa decide about the following module? Okay, let me highlight it. Write the correct letter A, B, or C next to question number 26 to 30. Okay, so here we can see she will study it, she won't study it, she might study it. Okay, now we are going to listen for question number 26, the international markets. Okay, let's listen it.
With games and stuff.
Sweet. Are we still getting our new computer lab? There's always such an awful queue for the existing one.
We are indeed, and next to it there's now going to be what they're calling the software zone. A place where students can access all the latest high-end software free of charge.
Nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Donor. Everything else is staying, right? Lecture rooms, hardware zone, etc.
Yeah, the rest the same.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at and answer questions 26 to 30.
By the way, on the subject of college next year, Steve, have you decided what courses you're going to choose yet?
Pretty much. I want to major in marketing, so I'm focusing on the international markets and product placement modules. Will you be joining me?
Well, I prefer human resources. That'll probably be my major. But if you twist my arm, I'll probably join you for the first one.
Okay, so she was saying I'll probably join you for the first one. So that means she will probably join. So she will probably means she might study it. Okay, so she's not sure. So might and probably are close to each other. Okay, so C would be the answer. Okay, I hope you got it. If you still don't get it, I would suggest you to pause this video right now and re-listen it one more time. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 27, product placement. Okay, let's listen it for product placement.
Be my major. But if you twist my arm, I'll probably join you for the first one. No way on all that product placement nonsense, though. Sounds boring.
So she was saying no way on all that product placement nonsense, though sounds boring. That means she would not study that. Okay, she would not study the product management. So B would be the answer. Okay, as she was saying no way on all that product placements nonsense, though sounds boring. That means she will not study that. Okay, now we are going to listen it for question number 28. Okay, organizational behavior. Okay, let me highlight it and let's listen it.
The core organisational behaviour is a requirement if you want to major in HR, as is managing people. So I'll definitely do both of those. Will you?
Okay, so she's saying organizational behavior is a requirement if you want to major in HR as managing people. So I will definitely do both of those. So that means she will study that. Okay, so A would be the answer for question number 28. Okay, let me choose option A. As she was saying, I will definitely do both of these. So she will study it. Okay, now let's listen it for question number 29. Managing. Okay, managing people. Okay, let's listen it for managing people.
Join me on them then.
Sorry, Melissa. You know, HR is just not my thing. What about your optional modules? Do you feel like doing information?
Okay, so as she was saying, original. Okay, here we have two answers. Okay, so be careful. As she was saying, organizational behavior is a requirement if you want to major in HR as managing people. So I will definitely do both. So she was talking about both organizational behavior and managing people. She will do both. So in a row we just listen both. So in question number 29, A would be the answer also. Okay, I hope you got it. So let's listen it one more time, as these two answers are same. Okay, I hope it will be clear to you.
My thing?
I'm on there. This is managing people. Organisational behaviour, product placement nonsense though. Sounds boring. The core organisational behaviour is a requirement if you want to major in HR, as is managing people. So I'll definitely do both of those. Will you join me on them?
Okay, I hope it's super clear to you, as she was saying. So I'll do both of those, as she was talking about these two. Okay, so she was saying I will definitely do both of these. That means A would be the answer for these two answers. Okay, now we are going to listen it for question number 30, public relation. Okay, let's listen it.
There.
Sorry, Melissa. You know, HR is just not my thing. What about your optional modules? Do you feel like doing information systems with me? We all need to know a bit about the digital world after all.
I'll get back to you. I haven't ruled out public relations either. Let's chat about it again later in the week when I've had some time to think.
Cool, I'll call you, okay?
So she was talking about public relation, as she was saying, and she was saying, I'll get back to you. I haven't ruled out public relation either. Let's chat about it again later in the week when I have some time to think. So that means she's not sure. Okay, so she's not sure. That means C would be the answer. Okay, she might study that. Okay, as she didn't give any specific answer for that, as she was saying. Okay, as she was saying, she was saying, let's chat about it again later in the week. Okay, she will talk about it later. Okay, that means it's might be, she might be studied there. Okay, now that's all about part 3. Now we are going to listen it for part 4, and here's the another instruction to follow. No more than 2 words for each answer. Okay, just keep it in your mind that we're allowed to write only 2 words for each gap. Now let's listen it for question number 31. Let's read the question first. It seems that personality tests are part of our blah blah. Let's listen it.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
I'm sure at some point in your lives you will have completed a personality test, whether for professional reasons or purely for fun. Such personality assessments are abundant. They pervade our everyday lives, since
They provide our everyday life. So everyday lives will be the answer. Okay, Y-E-A-Y, everyday lives, E-S, lives will be the answer. Okay, now we're going to listen it for question number 32. Okay, understanding why we communicate and blah blah others in the way. Let's listen it for question 32.
There is a fundamental human need to understand the motivation behind our own and others' behaviour. Learning how to assess personality permits greater understanding of the motivating factors affecting the way we communicate and cooperate with others.
And cooperate with others, as she's saying, the way we communicate and cooperate with others. Okay, so communicate is visible here, but cooperate is not visible, so we need to put it on the gap. Okay, let me put it. Cooperate, O-P-E-R-A-T-E, with other. Okay, will be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 33. So here we have 5 column, and the first one is test type, what is assessed, who use it, okay, accuracy, and advantages and disadvantages maybe. Now let's listen it for question number 33. Believed to have blah blah by the British Psychological Society. Okay, let's listen it for question number 33.
In addition to how we relate to others on a personal level. So now that we've talked about why personality tests are so important, let's take a look at the most well-known tests and see how they compare. Well, first off, we have a favourite of careers officers and potential employers alike, the graphology test. The word graphology is derived from 2 Greek words meaning writing and word. Essentially, it is an assessment of personality based on handwriting analysis. How an individual dots his I's or crosses his T's, in addition to whether writing is slanted or level, is believed to be indicative of the individual's personality. Whatever your opinion may be of this method of personality assessment, at least it has stood the test of time. The graphology test, as a measure of personality, was first proposed by a certain Juan Huerta de San Juan as far back as 1575, and it has seen fluctuation in its popularity since then. In the 20th century, Alfred Binet was so convinced as to its validity that he termed it the science of the future, and indeed today it is still a very popular method of personality assessment. Its validity, though, as a measurement of character, is dubious. The British Psychological Society has even gone so far as to rank graphology alongside astrology, giving them both 0 validity. A major problem with the test is that an element of
Okay, so she's saying giving them both 0 validity. So 0 validity would be the answer. Let me put it. 0 validity would be the answer. Okay. Now let's listen to question number 34. Okay, can be based by a or n. Okay, subjectively. Let's listen it.
subjectivity enters the assessment of certain criteria in the test, such as harmony and style of writing. However, in its favour, such as element of subjectivity 0 validity as to rank graphology alongside astrology, giving them both 0 validity. A major problem with the test is that an element of subjectivity enters the
Okay, so she's saying, so here as we are listening this one is advantage or disadvantage, and unfortunately we got a problem. As she was saying, a major problem with the test is that element of subjectivity. Okay, so an element would be the answer, and sorry, n is already there, we need to write just element. Okay, L-E-M-E-N-T element of subjectivity. Okay, with the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 35. It's okay. Respected blah blah, like the Tavistock. Okay, Tavistock Clinic. Let's listen it for question number 35.
Assessment of certain criteria in the test, such as harmony and style of writing. However, in its favour, the test is relatively quick and easy to administer. Next, let's look at the Rorschach or inkblot test, which is one of the better-known tools of psychological assessment. Popularised in party game versions of the test, the Rorschach test has received mixed reactions amongst psychologists. Whilst many dismiss the test as a pseudoscience, it is nevertheless used by prestigious mental health organisations such as the Tavistock Clinic.
Okay, so she was saying prestigious mental health organizations. So prestigious and respected are close to each other. Okay, so yeah, mental health organizations would answer. Okay, mental health organization. Answer. Okay, I hope you got it. Now let's listen it for question number 36. A major problem of the test is that it's affected by blah blah. Let's listen it.
As a valid tool for personality assessment. Admittedly, assessing someone's character based on their reactions to a series of ink blots on pieces of card might seem somewhat ludicrous. Whilst there is a tried and tested methodology behind the construction of the test and assessment of individual responses, the test is subject to cultural bias. The perception of the card's contents is liable.
Okay, so she was saying that whilst there is a tried and tested methodology behind the construction of the test and assessed of the individual responses, the test is subjected to cultural bias. Okay, bias will be the answer. Let me put it cultural. Yes, okay, will be the answer. Now let's listen it for question number 37. Okay, individual response to blah blah, there are ranked in order of performance. Okay, let's listen it.
To be biased by cultural factors, making the individual responses somewhat meaningless. So, moving on to a test that has similar features to the Rorschach test, let's look at the Lucia colour test. As with the former test, the Lucia colour test assesses an individual's subjective reaction to a series of cards. However, unlike the Rorschach, the Lucia test consists of a series of coloured cards that the individual has to rank in order of preference.
Okay, so she is saying, however, unlike the research, the Lucia's test consists of a series of colored cards that the individual has to rank in order to performance. Okay, so that means colored cards would be the answer. Let me put them. C-O-L-O-U-R-E-D, colored cards would be the answer. Okay, now let's listen it for question 38. Seemingly blah blah of psychological assessment. Let's listen it.
How the individual ranks the different colours is believed to be indicative of their personality. While some believe the test to smack of pseudoscience and many question its validity, there is, however, a biological basis to the test, which makes it more of a convincing tool of psychological assessment than many other personality tests. So
she's saying, however, a biological basis to the test, which makes it more of conveniencing tool. Okay, so conveniencing tool will be the answer. Let me put it. Conveniencing tool will be the answer. Okay, convincing tool will be the answer. Now let's listen it for question 39. How an individual creates stories based on a set of cards featuring blah blah in ambiguous senses. Let's listen it.
Certainly, its use by psychologists and doctors, as well as authorities such as government agencies and universities to screen their candidates, would seem to be a strong argument for the validity of the test. A major plus to this test is that it is so accurate that it is even sensitive to mood change. Individuals, therefore, taking the same test at different periods of time will see a correlation between results and mood. Finally, I would like to refer to the TAT test, or the thematic apperception test, to give it its full name. On the face of it, it is a very simplistic test. As with the Rorschach and Lucia tests, the individual is dealt a series of cards. However, on these cards are depicted a series of ambiguous scenes involving groups of people. The individual...
Okay, so you're saying ambiguous scenes involving group of people. So group of people will be the answer. Let me put it. Groups of people. Groups of people will be the answer. Now we are going to listen for question number 40. Due to the blah blah, a university agreement method of scoring and standardized cards. Let's listen it.
The individual is required to make up a story about each, and the individual is then assessed based on the content of each story. Whilst the test is quick and simple to administer, critics of the test argue that there is a lack of standardization of the cards and scoring systems.
Okay, there is a lack of standardization of cards and scoring system. So lack of standardization. Okay, standardization. So lack would be the answer. Lack of. Okay, so LFC of the answer. Okay, so I hope you got it. Now okay, before going to submit it, I need to re-click each answer one more time, as we was out of time at the middle of our practicing. Just give me a few seconds to re-click each answer one more time. Okay, then I will submit it with you, and I will show you the mark, the score that we obtained today. Okay, so just give me a few seconds. So it was Z, I need to select G. It was H, I need to select H again. E, I need to select again. It was F, I need to select again. It was C, I need to select C again. It was B, I need to select B again. Okay, I hope I'm done, and let's submit it and check how much we obtained today. Okay, here you go. Okay, we got 9 out of 9, but we are correct for 39, and we made a mistake with 1. Let's check which one we got mistake. Okay, here it says pedestrian. Okay, pedestrian, but we write here okay, here we should add another E, okay, between D and S. Okay, that's why it's a mistake. So it's a typing mistake. Okay, So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will meet you the next lesson tomorrow with a new IELTS listening test. So till then, bye.